Okay, let's test all the mic. Everything is going well as it's supposed to be. Everything is going well as it's supposed to be. Our first game of today, we'll be analyzing a game from one of our students known as Austin. And Austin, he has played around 10 games. He has won 8, 10 or 12. He has won 8 games and lost 4. I think this will be an example of how players of around 1200 think. And we start with this game. So, Austin, so his opponent started with e4. We have e5, d5. So d5 is known as Scandinavian defense. So the Scandinavian, after takes, queen takes, and mostly we have d4 as the main line. Also we have knight c3 as the main line. But in this position, his opponent played knight f3. Knight f3 is not a bad move, but the problem with knight f3, it allows bishop g4. Okay, so you are giving out a tempo to bishop g4. After bishop g4, now you can't play knight c3 because of take or capture, then which you are forced now to make your pawns bad, a double pawn. And the problem with that, we have these open files. Now this pawn, it will be too difficult for you to protect them. So instead of bishop g4, let's see what Austin played. Austin played e4. E5, not e4, sorry, but e5. Now the problem with e5 now you're giving your opponent time to play knight c3. Now you're giving out a tempo. After knight c3, the idea is usually like this. You play knight c3. Now you are forced either to retreat. The only good square here you can play is knight queen d6. The reason why, so if you play on the other side of the board, also knight a5 is a good move. Okay, now that the theory goes like that, followed by the push of d3, and white is better in simple terms. So, but Austin, he retreated. Now this is a blunder in itself. Why? Because now by retreating you are giving out a pawn in essentially you are not giving out because you will pin and win. You win the knight later. But the problem with retreating the queen to that far end, now you are allowing bishop c4. After bishop c4, now it is possible, if you play any other wrong move, which is not either knight c6, or you can also play bishop d6. Now let's say you make a random move, a6. Let's use that as an example. Now you can be able to capture. You see? Because queen e7 is not working because now you can castle. And if you capture, you lose the queen. Okay? So let's follow the main line how they played. His opponent played t3. d3 is a good move, but the problem with it now, you are making your light square bishop to have a small scope. So itakuwa vingumu sana for this bishop to develop. Okay, so you will need now to play moves like c3 to fianchetto it, or you play it e7, which is not good. So instead of that, first of all, before pushing d3, you would have played bishop c4. Now d3 is valid. Okay, because now this bishop, it will be pressuring the f7 squares, and there's ideas of playing knight g5 to do the fried liver attack. Now, so instead of that, his opponent played t3. This is not a good move. Now you are giving out tempos. Now Austin can play knight c6, and he went for knight c6, which was quite good. Now bishop e7, developing, good. After that move, also that is good. Now that is not a good move at all. You don't need to play h6, because unless the bishop is played to g5, now you can play h6 to ask the question, where do you want to put your bishop? Now I think this was an error from his opponent. I think he doesn't know what he was doing. King d2. Now this is a blunder. So the only winning move here for white, and to maintain the only winning move for black, so that he can have a huge advantage, is to play e4. What is e4 doing? E4 essentially, it is putting pressure towards the center, and also you want to open the position up to expose that king. Okay, so the idea, I think, it will be after. Okay, the problem, you cannot capture. This is the problem, because you will lose and you cannot capture the knight because of the pin. I hope you are seeing that. And so instead of that, now bishop f5 is played by Austin. Austin missed the idea. Now, the problem with knight f5, sometimes this is what you have to understand. You need to know your games well. Knight f5, you're encouraging him to play this move and attack your bishop. And now you are forced to move, and he can now start opening the position up. You see? Now he wants to push to f5 and force the bishop down back. So after bishop f5, the guy retreated, and now Austin played e4 at the wrong time. So he had a chance to play e4 when the king was on d2, but now he played e4 at the wrong time. Now this move is not a good move at all, because the problem with this now, you want to do a mass exchange of pieces. Okay, also h4, knight h4, it will distract your bishop, which will force your bishop to go back. Then you can be able to capture that pawn and exchange the bishop. So let's see what happened in the game. There was capture, there was capture, there was capture, mass exchange of pieces. Now, in this position, you are giving advantage to white. White is getting a lot of advantage here. Now you captured, captured, capture. Now, as we count the pieces, everything is even. All the pieces are even. The black king hasn't castled yet. It is in the center of the board, and ideas like playing now these moves is possible. Okay, ideas of playing this move, then you remove your knight, you attack the light square bishop, then you force it back, then you capture this, you destroy the structure of the position, and you will be able to play this quite good game as white. So let's see what white did. And white started advancing on the queen side. Good, developing move. Now, bishop e7 is quite a good move. The reason why it is a good move, you're preventing now the knight from roaming around, from jumping. Okay. Now, if this knight ever moves, now you can be able to capture. It can't go now to h4. Also, if it goes to d4, you can capture. He captures, then you castle. Hope you are getting that. After capture, you can't capture the other pawn. Why? Because now there's a moves like rook here, and you're forced to go back. Then your opponent can be able to capture this pawn, and you'll be in a hot soup. Moves like this are coming. You see? Hope you are saying that. Let me see if I can be able to draw lines so that. Okay, let me try and find engine, stockfish, thread, memory. Okay. Oh, by settings. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Now. So, his opponent played f3. Now f3 asked the question, where do you want to take your bishop? He retreated. Now look at this position. Sometimes you need to see and to understand where you're taking your pieces back. Your piece was under attack. Now, in this position, black has given the white opponent, two tempos. And that tempo include, he can be able to play here, then he plays there. Hope you are getting it. And this bishop will be forced to go back. Because by playing f4, now you are attacking the bishop, you are attacking the knight, and the knight has no squares, and the only square it has is to retreat back here, which will allow now pins in these diagonals, and it won't be pleasant for black. So, and white went for the plan, push f4. Once you retreated, now you are supposed to push f5, but also that is good. f5, and you are going back. Now, if we try and see in this position, if we try and analyze, we can see that black is squeezed. Austin is squeezed. He is squeezed. And he was the one who was pressuring the game. Now he's the one being pressured because of losing tempo. Now, something quite good here you can see. If you can be able to castle and bring your rook to this square, now you can be able to attack this, but that is an invalid. It's an invalid. We can say it is an invalid plan because this guy can play here, pressure this pawn. Okay, so this is. I think this will be the main idea that you'll be doing. Also, if this is possible in the future. Okay, so let's see what happens after that move. Now, look what happens. Sometimes you play because of pressure, call it pressure or pressure. My English is not good, please, you can bear with me. So, by playing here, now you are giving out a pawn. Just this, you can grab this and move on. Let's see what happens. He grabs, yes. Now. These moves encourage, this is quite fantastic. So let's see. Now, he went for the wrong idea. Okay. Now, something important here. Now, I don't know how Austin was able to. I don't know how he was able to to turn the game around. Now, in this position, he has a slight advantage because of the two bishops. Now, if you can see the benefit of the bishop when the position is open, look at this. Look at this. These are monsters pieces. Monster pieces. Okay? So, these are monster pieces. So, that is how strong the bishop are more than a knight and a bishop. Because now, the white bishop only controls this square and this square. And the knight controls here, controls here, controls here, controls here, controls here, controls here, and here. But now, we'll come back to that later. So let's see how the game continued. That is a good plan, Austin. Now, you saw the pin. And I want, for the people who will be watching this, I want you to understand something good about Austin. Austin has a lot of plan in his games. If you see, his games are quite productive. Now, he managed to see the pin, and now you will see how he will turn the game around. Okay, he did the attack. Now, he is quite good at fighting the pins. Now, the threat is rook here and pin the guy. If you try to defend, then there is this push and win the rook. A simple idea, as simple as that. And let's go. Let's see if Austin will see. Good, Austin. Now, Austin is totally winning. Push the pawn. Take, and take. Up to there. Everything is good. Go for the pawn now. You go for weaknesses of your opponent. You take. And now, this is so good. This is so good. This is quite a good plan. Now you want to rotate your rook here and smother all of these pawns and take these pawns and merge them. Because if you see the knight is quite restricted. If our bishop can be able to be, if we put our bishop here and control these squares, as you can see, the knight will be locked out. So he has to rotate and save himself. I don't know where he will be going. Now, let's see how the game progressed. Now, okay. Good. And it was at this moment that the guy knew that things were quite hot. Now, this is simply winning, just converting. And this was quite a good decision for Austin. Instead of complicating the position, sometimes you need to give out pieces. When you have a lot of winning chances, you don't need to drain yourself with so much. You'll end up losing yourself in stalemates and draws. So instead of that, what do? Just give some pieces to simplify the position. Yes. Now, it's just a matter of time, and his opponent resigned. That was quite a good game. Kudos to Austin. Okay. So, thank you for watching. I'll be back with the second game. We analyze. Okay.